I think first of all, the funding that made it possible allowed us to do something that we had never done at the organization before.
The Action Accelerator program provided strategic funding for us at a crucial time when we were hitting the ground running with really important work that we know needed to happen. And it was great to have a funder step in and provide the resources needed to get the project from start to finish.
It had a great deal of flexibility that allowed us to take something that we had been thinking about that we wanted to do, where we felt like there was a gap in our state that we wanted to try and fill, and then actually do that.
At this point, it really created a nice pace for us to build out this accelerator.
Yeah, of there being kind of multiple stages to it really kind of gives groups and organizations the opportunity to really double down on their message and their work. And
access to the support, but also the sense of urgency. By having a very time-limited accelerator, we actually moved quickly to be able to conduct the focus groups and the interviews, and were able to generate fabulous, meaningful feedback in a short period of time.
What's really unique about the Action Accelerator is actually the way, and shout out to Seek Common Ground for identifying organizations across the country that are doing really unique work that can learn and benefit from collaborating together, not only on in the Action Accelerator, but in other work that they're doing as well.
And it's so powerful when you hear back from community members what's important to them in this moment, and particularly because we've never been through a moment like COVID and systemic racism all at the same time.
I remember asking for advice about how to both frame and support the conversation that youth and adults were having together. And a person from Alliance for Quality Education shared a resource from a different organization about anti-racist principles. And that actually ended up being a core element of our Reimagine Education project, and also helped to support our inner organizational equity pause work.
Usually we're very Texas focused. We are regional in our work policy wise, but my work is just Texas. So getting to hear from individuals from Colorado and Baltimore and Kentucky was just such a nice kind of breath of fresh air.
Because it is not just you here in a silo doing the work, but it's a collective work that if our work is connected, we can make some change.
I think one thing that happened to us as an organization when the pandemic hit is we kind of locked into ourselves a little bit and kind of weren't connected to the outside world, especially outside of San Francisco. And I think this really gave us a chance to reconnect, to be aligned with people who have a shared vision of kind of what we want to see in the world.
Getting their input on, what they would do for the future. And then kind of just talking about collaboration, ideas that we had. It was definitely a pretty dope thing to be involved with. And
it was a great opportunity to share stories, hear different campaigns and different ideas to be able to take back home to our organizations in Manchester.
It was very powerful that those you invested in were many communities that are marginalized, right? And most of the time we don't see investments in our community at all. And so to invest in actual communities and organizations that actually were working with those young people or adults or those communities, kudos to you.
It was an amazing and once in a lifetime opportunity to really insert the lives, the struggles of Black and Brown families in Montgomery County into the educational conversations that happened during COVID-19. For many, many people in the public school, what happened at the school, at their homes, did not matter. As a result of this opportunity, we were able to share with the powers that be how much what happened inside their homes mattered for young people, for their parents, and the school system was able to react and do something about that.
In the counties that we worked with, which again, small rural districts in Southwest Georgia, an area that was hit very early and very hard by COVID-19, being able to sort of show up and help them and support them, that mattered.
Everything we discussed, all of the issues that we had as far as poor school learning, poor books, the environment of the schools, not having enough educated teachers that were licensed, not having enough Black teachers, not having anyone that looks like you give you instruction, is not just in Maryland, but around the world. And being able to learn best practices from others in this community was very, very exciting.
So I think one of the really powerful moments out of many of the organizational work that was happening, which was the Louisville Urban League project, the Polaroid project, where young people had an opportunity to express themselves, how they were feeling through camera, through pictures. And in a world that doesn't see them in their brilliance and full humanity, it was just really powerful to hear how they were able to shine, you know, in a space that normally doesn't want to see them shine.
I think leveraging the expertise of the Seek Common Ground team and the expertise of the participating organizations in the accelerator.